All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. Another really slow day in the rock world, except if you want to make fun of Eric Clapton. And there are plenty of people doing that and doing it in a way I think that shows how far gone humanity is. One person commented on social media that Eric Clapton would do the thing if Patty Harrison was offered to him as incentive. All right, here's a quick little update on Eric Clapton. He did do the thing, you moron. He did the thing. So, at least if you're going to bash somebody, have your details correct here. Clapton did the thing, and then, he couldn't use his hands for like 3 months and was worried that was the end of his career and so forth. And he's already got autoimmune deficiencies. And it just shows you, if you're a doctor and you said, yeah, this is a great idea, Eric, for you. This is perfect. Look, there's so much to unpack with the hatred for Eric Clapton. And by the way, yours truly, I did a video saying that they're going to deconstruct Eric Clapton. And since then, I've seen a plethora of articles citing his rant from the 70s, which he's apologized for. And okay, how many years ago do you see? Here's the thing about the mob, right? If you say something, I don't know how many years ago, that is permanent on your record. There's no forgiveness. There's no repentance, because we don't live in that world anymore. We don't forgive anybody of their sins. We just continuously bring up something to discredit them. Now, all these people that are pro the thing, if you look inside of their closets, you're going to find a lot of crappy junk in there that you could easily bring forth and put it right out there. But because they're going along with the Borg, they're getting their signals from the mothership, the CIA, whoever it is. I found out a lot about influencing, right? I'm not obviously a big enough influencer where they would offer me, hey, Dave, how much do you make a year doing this silly YouTube thing? And I would tell them, and they would probably say, well, we can triple your income. We could quadruple that, or we could give you a one-time lump sum payment. That'll take care of you. You can live a good, long, happy life, maybe, depending on if you do the thing or not, right? First, you'd have to do the thing. I'm sure you'd have to prove to them that you're going to do the thing. And then you would have to go out there and basically sell this thing. And this is why you see celebrities everywhere. I mean, do you think they're not getting paid a lot of money to do this stuff? And it makes me wonder about Gene Simmons. It makes me wonder about Sebastian Bach. It makes me wonder about all of these clowns that are lining up, who are going against everybody's freedom to do what they want to do with their own body, right? They're all lining up. So there's got to be a secondary motivation, because they're not scientists. They're not doctors. They're idiots. They're complete morons. All right. So the people making fun of Clapton, calling him the R word from the 70s, and just sort of ignoring the fact that Nathan East is playing bass on his new single. So if Clapton was the worst person on earth in that particular way, why would Nathan East hang around with Eric Clapton? Oh, because Nathan East sold out too, and he's not really, he looks a certain way, but he identifies as something else because he's hanging around with Clapton. I mean, it's hard to follow this stuff, folks. It really is. I mean, how do you get in anybody's good graces? Well, you just do what all the lemmings do. That's how you do it. And Eric Clapton, who had an actual experience based on the fact that he did do the thing, people say, oh, well, if Clapton would do it. No, Clapton already did it. Clapton already did it. This is what gives him credibility. All right. And it's just ridiculous that people keep dumping on the guy. All right. He's still a great guitar player, by the way. Tasty guitar solo on his new track. In very strong voice. Sounds great for his age, really. And, I'm a little hypercritical when it comes to certain vocalists these days, but Clapton, you know, he was never the greatest singer you've ever heard, but he developed a pretty decent singing style in the 1980s, I thought, and then it's pretty much survived since then. So good on Eric Clapton for just speaking his mind, putting some artwork out there. You know, people can listen to it. If you don't want to listen to it, maybe somebody should write the ultimate lockdown song, right? Somebody like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, Sebastian Bach, Dee Snider, they should sit down and write, "We need to lock down the earth forever." Something like that. We just need to lock it down and destroy the economy, destroy the population, and then that would be the ultimate song. And all the proceeds go to the frontline workers or something like that, so they can be all virtuous. Except they're telling all these frontline workers now that if they don't do the thing, they're all going to be terminated. Last year, they were superheroes. This year, they're the worst people on the planet because they refuse to get in line. And I know they are not very smart, even though they work in the industry, right? Even though they know firsthand what the risks are, what the benefits are, and what, you know, could possibly happen to them if they decide to do what everybody else is telling them to do 24 hours a day. All right, so this Clapton thing is just like, it's a microcosm of the culture at large. And anybody who just says, you know what, I don't think this is the right way to go, all of a sudden you're like, did he just say that he doesn't believe in Fauciism? Yeah, I don't. And it's getting closer and closer to an actual religion and an actual cultic thing. I've never seen anything like this. In 18 months, we've got a new religion on the planet. All right. You have to have faith in people that are wrong. You have to move the goalposts constantly to adhere to it. All right. There's no concrete evidence that any of this stuff does anything. There are no peer-reviewed studies. There are no long-term studies. So why do you put your faith and trust in this? You know, and people wonder why people put their faith and trust in God, right? Oh, why would you worship the sky god? And, you know, God is not active in your life. No. Okay, sure. You believe what you want to believe about your religion, and I will believe what I want to believe about my religion. So, okay, that used to be called freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, bodily autonomy. Good on Eric Clapton. I told you they were going to deconstruct Eric. I told you, and they're doing it in real time. It's just ridiculous.